Today's horoscope from Astrocademy Leo February 2, 2022. You could decide to join a new community group. You might be drawn to a particular church or temple. Or you could become interested in a meditation group. You might even enjoy an alternative form of spiritual practice, such as Native American drumming circles, channeling sessions, or group rituals. You need to bond with people who are on a similar path. You might enjoy learning about some new spiritual techniques. A long-awaited romantic encounter may be cancelled, or it may prove to be not as rewarding as you had hoped. For this reason, doubts and uncertainties about the future of this relationship could rear their ugly heads. This is not the day to make any final decisions about serious matters such as this. Wait a few days until you feel a little more confident and clear-headed, then make up your mind. Today you may feel that the people at work don't understand a lot of the basics of good work habits. Some of them may take it upon themselves do what they weren't even asked to do, while others will only do exactly what they are told. If you feel that these poor work habits are a detriment to the efficient running of your company, do not hesitate to say something about it today. Your boss may be only happy to see that you really care about where the company is headed. You may be anxious to get some new projects underway today, even though they are not necessarily ready or well thought out. You must first learn that patience is the key. Take your time. Jumping the gun could cause a false start that might get you disqualified from the race entirely. Avoid this fate by playing it cool and laying low. Keep your big guns under wraps for a while. You don't need to bring out all the heavy artillery yet. Relations and friends are having a hard time with you and vice versa. Put an end to this mutual feeling of frustration, be honest with yourself and consider compromising on some points. Talking to people to clear things up is also a big help. Regard today's negative atmosphere as an opportunity to resolve conflicts permanently. Don't expect much social action, do your own thing at your own pace. Everything slows down a little around you because everybody seems to inhabit their own low-key universe. Whatever you try to achieve is criticized and unlikely to be accepted in a very favorable way, especially if you feel undue pressure to perform any kind of activity. It is far better to delay important activities or decisions until you feel positive about the outcome. Use your sense of humor to relieve any tension. Something in the air today incites conflict. People around you seem overly sensitive and ready to fight over the slightest thing. You are sensitive to this kind of ambience and do your best to calm things down. But today, you are powerless against the elements. It's best to look after yourself and try to ignore the firestorm raging around you. Today you should meet someone or be in union or collaboration. But if the situation isn't conducive for this, a breakup, which is related to your past, could be in the air. In reality, everything will depend on your situation. If it is good, it will only be better. If it is bad, you could be the person who makes things deteriorate. Be careful, despite everything, to preserve those close to you from a possible crisis. Today is an interesting day for you, in which you might feel like you are in the crossfire of a battle that doesn't really have anything to do with you. You may find that you are carefully examining both sides, but hesitant to commit to anything definite. This is fine. Realize, however, that aspects of this conflict do indeed involve you. You will be affected by its outcome and you definitely have a voice in the matter. As an asteroid, Juno might be a tiny player, but all the focus is on her today as she leaves your work sector and returns to your relationship sector. At any other time, this wouldn't be as auspicious, but it all comes down to the timing. As she leaves your work sector, Juno leaves you with a sense of conviction and determination, just as there is some real momentum building. At the same time, as the queen of commitment and especially commitment to your relationships, Juno's return to your relationship sector just a day after a new moon created an opportunity for new beginnings comes with perfect timing. The moon is still in your relationship sector after yesterday's new moon when the asteroid Juno makes a timely return today. Juno is the queen of commitment and especially commitment to your relationships, and her first visit in 4 years comes with perfect timing, and just as a new moon has brought an opportunity for a fresh start. When the moon connects with Jupiter, it can add a lot of positivity to the overall energy of the day. Jupiter is an optimistic planet that allows us to call on our philosophical side and expand our worldly horizons. This is also a very lucky aspect. Emotions get bigger, as does a need to open up to other people, something we never thought we could do. The moon squares Neptune today too, and when Neptune is involved we begin to see the world through rose-colored glasses. This can make us overzealous and impair our judgment of situations, because we're inclined to think the best of other people even if that isn't necessarily true or real. We want to believe in the goodness of people, but it's important to watch out for those who might take us for granted or not have our best interests at heart. You could get played or used and not see it coming, which is why it's important to be aware of this possibility. The other side of this transit is that we could knowingly let others take advantage of us. While we can trust our head to steer us in the correct direction, we should aim to be heart-centered in our approach. The next 2 days are an excellent time for starting things, but not for seeing them through if they require extensive planning or patience. Also before dawn, Leo Mars forms a square to Ceres in Taurus, activating a T-square with retrograde Jupiter in Aquarius. The opposition between Mars and Jupiter will be exact tomorrow. This transit presents a conflict between two fundamental human instincts, self-preservation and the reflex to protect those we care about. We believe others must submit to us so we can help them. If they refuse our help, we lose our purpose, so we interpret this as defiance, an insult, or a threat. If someone does permit us to assist them, we will make sure they don't forget it. Reminders of how giving and generous we are subtly imply that we are owed a debt of gratitude, which inevitably breeds resentment, making the other party wish they hadn't asked in the first place. We should monitor our actions closely today. Self-reflection is the only way to determine whether we are out of line or overstepping another's boundaries.